1 year ago tonight, we were all bracing for the possibility of one of the largest explosions in the history of the United States happening right here in this area. Hundreds of tons of ammonium nitrate burning back here at the plant in the middle of a residential area in North Winston-Salem.
On January 31st, the Winston Weaver fertilizer plant caught fire, and within an hour and a half, firefighters knew all they could do was save themselves and try to save the thousands of people living near the plant.
Tonight, we revisit what happened in the hours and days that followed. Fox 8's Michael Hennessy was there the night the fire started, as well as a year ago today, and has the story.
Ground zero. It would have been nothing here.
Ammonium nitrate.
It was a scary time.
600 tons of it.
It was pretty scary that night.
Either on fire or dangerously close to it at the Winston Weaver fertilizer plant in North Winston-Salem.
I didn't sleep well that night, for sure. I was sort of waiting to hear a boom of some sort.
It broke out around 7 on the night of Monday, January 31st, 2022.
When I see 4440 North Cherry Street, I know what it is.
Firefighters dumped 6,500 gallons of water per minute on the fire.
We saw the big fireball. From here, it looked like the church was on fire.
But it wasn't making a difference. And about 75 minutes later, when they found out how much product was in there, it made all the difference.
A difficult course of action, but the correct course of action was to evacuate.
We have a ton of agencies out here, not just from Forsyth County. I've seen some Greensboro, Guilford County agencies out here as well, as everybody tries to navigate their way through this developing situation.
Start to watch Fox 8 to see what was going on, and I'm like, holy mackerel.
Everybody ordered outside the 1 mile radius surrounding the plant, firefighters included.
Fire department had identified that this had the potential for serious explosive capacity.
The 6,500 people living within that radius asked to leave voluntarily.
We're hoping the whole thing doesn't blow up in our faces.
Still, some people, we didn't reach everybody.
He says, my wife is sick and she's on oxygen. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get oxygen for my wife. The neighbors next door came over, and they're saying, we don't have the money to stay in a hotel.
And once the sun rose on February 1st, the magnitude of the situation was there for the world to see.
This is potentially the largest explosion in U.S. history.
I don't know how to say it any more clearly than that.
Still, some chose to stay. Others started to arrive.
We really started gaining ground when we got a subject matter expert here on Wednesday afternoon.
And despite a fire truck being left at the site to keep throwing water on the fire, Mother Nature proved to be the greatest ally.
2 or 3 days after the fire, it started to rain, and the cloud layer came down, and all of this was smoke.
We kind of collectively in the command post breathed a sigh of relief.
I just remember looking at these firefighters, knowing that they were going to risk their life the next day. It touched me. Sorry. These are some brave men and women that are protecting our city every day.
By Thursday, those firefighters went back to the site, along with the expert.
But I remember him saying, you have reduced the potential for an explosion to zero.
And most of those people forced to abandon their homes were able to go back.
So this place was a ghost town probably for about a week after that.
In the weeks that followed, $1 million worth of reimbursements were approved for them. Within months, the company was issued about $5,600 in citations from the state.
Some neighbors that had breathing problems, asthma, and those type of illnesses that had affected them, they ended up going to the emergency room.
Today, as the site sits flattened and barren, potential long-term effects may be yet to come to bear.
Been doing some checking since to find out if there's anything else in the neighborhood I need to be concerned about.
Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist anticipates there were about 900 people living in the 2 mile radius of the plant who were treated within the health system in the year before the fire. It plans to compare those people to about 7,000 people who didn't live there over the next 5 years.
Fully residential, lots of offices, commercial, retail.
Looking for things like asthma, lung disease, heart disease, and cancer. A year later, Chief Mayo says there's only one glaring thing he would have done differently.
If we did it again tonight, we would issue a mandatory evacuation order.
And no one can help but think how different, how much this entire neighborhood could have easily been transformed
I didn't realize it was so close.
into something similar to what the site now looks like.
We would still be, in a way, digging out from that explosion, I would think, even after a year.
In Winston-Salem, Michael Hennessy.
This, for sure, in terms of career fires, is the most dangerous fire that I've ever been to.
Fox 8 News.
And the city has since changed its zoning laws because of that fire. The mayor says some remediation still needs to be done at the site, but testing is underway to find out how much needs to be done.